Today I want to talk about you, about where you are in your life right now. Where are you at with your finances? Where are you at with your relationships? Where are you at with your career? Where are you right now? You know, life is too short not to be living in flow, in peace, in love, and with the knowing that everything is working out exactly the way it should be. That is where we all want to be. But many of us are not there. We're somewhere on the periphery. Maybe we are somewhere thinking it's okay sometimes and sometimes it's not. And ultimately, I want you to think, if tomorrow were your last day here on earth, what would you be thinking about the life that you spent today? What would you be saying to yourself about your inner peace, about your own vibration of love, of joy? How is that right now? And be honest with yourself. You know, it is so important in this life that we really grab a hold of it. You know, in the recent past, many people have just been dying like that. You know, if you look around the world, there are incredibly horrible things going on in the world. And you can see people losing their lives really quickly. You can see lots of strife. You can see lots of reasons to feel overwhelmed and scared and full of fear. But think about this. If you were to leave this planet tomorrow, would you feel good? Would you feel that sense of peace, that sense of, whew? Be honest with yourself. I'm here to ask you that because I believe that right now in this moment, you can have that peace, you can have that joy, and you can have that love, no matter what's happening on the outside. My name is Max Ryan, and you might know of me. I'm the creator and founder of AttractPositiveResults.com, and I wanted to make this video because I recently ran across a story on my, I asked a story on my Facebook page, and it started me thinking, and it started me down a couple of months of a path of understanding the pain in the world. And if I felt the pain from these people, I know that some people feel pain out there too. So let me just tell you, this is what happened. I decided that I was going to put a Facebook post up. And this post was all about, you know, on Facebook where you see people that don't really put their faces on. they put a dog, or they put a cat, or they put a rainbow or a flower. You know those people? And you never see what they're really like. It's interesting to me. Well, I was looking at that and I was thinking to myself, something about that is bothering me. I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know what? Maybe other people feel the same way. So I just put it in the back of my mind. You know how that is? You put a little question in the back of your mind. And I woke up one day and I realized the reason that it sort of bothered me was that ultimately I felt disconnected from them. Some of these horses and rainbows and angels I'd been talking to for years, but I still didn't feel like I knew them. I didn't feel like, you know, I have been talking to other people who I saw their faces, but I feel closer to. And I do think that in this world, in this day and age of technology, which is so great, otherwise I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now, but there is a sense of disconnection. There's a sense of separation from really being present with another human being. And I thought, well, that's what it is. Even though they're saying the words, I felt a disconnection from them. And it's not judging the people that are using the rainbows and the, you know, and the dogs and cats as their profile picture. It's not a judgment, it's just an observation. You know, that's a good thing to always remember. Are you judging, or are you just observing something? It was just an observation, and it brought up these feelings for me. So I put on Facebook, I said, you know, I said the story, and I said, does anyone else feel that way? That's all. Well, what happened next was pretty amazing. I got many, many, many comments on that post, but I also got private messages. And the messages that I got had a prevailing instance of kind of self-loathing. You know, people were saying things like, I would never put my picture up. I hate what I look like. Yeeks. People were saying, I despise myself. I would never, ever, ever do that. I mean, I'm telling you some of the more nicer words. Some people use some things that I can't even imagine. You know, that voice in their head turning against themselves in that violent, intense way. And I knew as I read these, I mean, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart, and I thought, wow, you know, this is a call. There's a calling here, and I felt so called. You know, what I do in the world is try to help people to attract positive results in their life, to open up their mind a little bit, so they can have an aha moment about the joy and the love and the peace in the world, so that they can actually, you know, attract these experiences and people and situations to make life more flowing. And I thought, wow, I'm being called. You know, I am a teacher and a student of A Course in Miracles for over 30 years. And in the Course in Miracles, it says, everything is love or a call for love. And I felt it so deeply. And I don't know about you, but I've had self-loathing thoughts myself. And it's taking me a while, and I'll tell you more about that later on. But I knew that I was being called. That's it. It was a call for love, and my heart reached out. And I said, you know what? I can help people. I can help them by doing something very simple. Very simple. Now, ultimately, I wanted to share something that I do every single day with people, because I knew that this thing that I do every single day would help to heal themselves, would heal their relationship. Remember, I asked you at the beginning of the video about your relationships, about your career, about your money, about all those different things. You know, in A Course in Miracles, they would say, listen, you think you have many problems. You think you have a problem with your finances, with your relationships, with your all of these different things. But really, the only problem you have is your separation from God, or love. Because in A Course in Miracles, ultimately, love is the only thing that's real. And in the Course in Miracles, it is stated over and over and over and over that the only thing that's real is love. And unless we are in a vibration of love, unless we are connected with that vibration of love, we have healing to do. We've got healing to do. So I thought, wow, you know, I use love all the time. The way I tell people, my students and my private clients, I say, listen, you've got to use love as a tool. Love is the only thing that's real, but our mind is the thing that's keeping us from thinking thoughts of love, from being thoughts of love, from actively using love as a tool in your life. So I said, you know what, I want to help these people, and I want to just say, hey, listen, here's a tool. Here's a tool that will help you, and it is a mantra. It's a mantra that is so simple. It's so simple. And I'm going to tell you the mantra in a little bit. But one thing I want to tell you is that ultimately, when we're using love, all of those things that I said, your finances, your relationships, your career, all those things, they slowly start to heal themselves, because you're healing your connection with God or the source, whatever you call it. I think it's the same thing. You know, the source or the divine or God, you know, that's semantics. But it is the thing that is the energy that is running your body as you watch this video. As you connect with me, the life that is living in your body in this moment, that's what I call God or the universe or source. So, when you are connected with that source and you remove the blocks to the source's presence, oh my God, everything changes in your life, and nothing changes. On some level, it doesn't have to change, because ultimately you change. When we change, everything around us changes. Everything that we see on the outside, our relationships, our job, our finances, and everything, is the effect. We are the cause. Everything on the outside is a projection of what's happening inside. So if you feel separated, if you feel broken, if you feel inadequate, if you feel angry, if you feel stuck, it is going to show up in your life every single time because, as the law of attraction would say, you only are getting and creating in your life what you are experiencing, what you're focusing on. You know, I love this quote, actually. I forget who really said it, and I believe this to be completely true, is that you don't always get what you want in this world, but you always get what you are. You know, I have worked with the law of attraction, A Course in Miracles, I said, for over 30 years. And I've studied the Bhagavad Gita. I grew up as a Catholic. I studied Judaism. I've studied Wiccan philosophies, many, many, many. Buddhism, Zen. I was vegetarian. I'm a meat eater. I've studied so many things over my 30 years. And ultimately, it all comes back to love. Do you see that? I'll move this. Love. And that is why I have love tattooed on my arm, to always remember it always comes back to love. Where is love in your life? How conscious are you of using love? Let me ask you this. When was the last time you called on love? I'll tell you, I called on love right before I started this video. I call on love all the time. And my results show that. I attract amazing people in my life, incredible opportunities. I've used love to heal myself. As I said, I had a near-death experience about 1.5 years ago where I literally died and came back. And I'm not going to go into that, but I knew that the only way to come back from that is to use love. And when I went to the other side, I got it. It is all love. It is all love. So, when's the last time you used love? I want you to start to think about this. I want you to start to say, am I using love? Am I using love, or am I using my ego? Now, in the Course in Miracles, we would say that ultimately, your ego, not ultimately, but the Course in Miracles would say, the ego is not in the Freudian terms, but in the Course in Miracles would say, the ego is the part of you that thinks without love. All you have to do in any given moment in your life is to say, am I thinking with love, or am I thinking without love? And in the Course in Miracles, it say there's only two emotions in our life. The first one is love, and the second one is fear. Now you see, I've had these tattoos for many years, and I put them there to always remind me, where am I? Am I in fear? Or am I in love? So after this video, we're going to talk a little bit more, but after this video, I want you to really think about how love can change your life. Now, a lot of people say, wow, that's a whole bunch of malarkey, that's ridiculous, that's silly. How can just love change your life? Now, we're not talking here about romantic love. We're talking here about what I talked about, the source, the peace, that feeling inside that everything is going right. It's all perfect just the way it is. And that you just feel good. And you are attracting good. You know, like I said before, you don't always attract what you want, because you could be wanting a Porsche, but you don't get the Porsche. You get an Acura. Because it's more of a matching vibration to who we are. So ultimately, we have to keep saying to ourselves, am I using love? Am I using love? Am I calling on love? Now, like I said, some people will go, he's full of it. He's crazy. He's crazy. But I'm telling you, after all my work that I've done, all the studying I've done, you know, I was doing the hay rides with Louise Hay in the 1980s. When I was in college, a friend of mine, I was 19 years old, a friend of mine called me up and said, hey, you know what? I bet you would like to go to this woman's house with me. We go there and we talk about this book, and she's really cool and it's really awesome. And I said, okay, I'll go. And it turns out that that was Marianne Williamson. And so I have been doing this work for a long time, and I ended up working at the Center for Los Angeles Center for Living, and where we helped AIDS victims and cancer victims, and we worked with them to help them to raise money and to change their lives, and it was an incredibly exciting time. So I tell you all that because I've done so much studying that it always comes back to love. It always comes back to love. Now, you're saying, well, what do I do? What's the mantra? Okay? I'm going to tell you the mantra. I bet you want to know the mantra, right? I'm going to give it to you in a second. But from that post, I ended up starting a 4-week challenge to use love in their life and to lose love in people's lives. And if you're watching this, you might have been one of those people. And then now I'm actually doing the second round of using love to love yourself and love your life. But we're going to do an experiment right now, okay? So wherever you're at right now, I want you to think, just close your eyes a second. I'll close them with you. I want you to think about something in your life that is not of love, that you're frustrated with, that you're angry about, that just is not working, that is stuck. It could be a relationship. It could be your money situation. It could be your career. It could be a divorce. It could be something with your brothers or sisters. It could be, I don't know. But it feels stuck. It feels bad. It feels, ugh. It's like if you could only get this healed, then you'd be okay. All right? So think about that for a moment. All right. You got it? You got that thing. I bet you when I said it, you probably had the thing in your mind right away. But here's the deal. I want you to, as your eyes are closed, I want you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it is unbearable and it's the worst thing in my life, and 0 being it's complete love and there's no problem and everything's okay. Obviously, it's going to be on the higher end. So I want you to rate it. Pick a number right now. Say it's about a 7. Okay? It's about a 7. Okay? So pick your number. Got your number. All right. So, now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use love to change your vibration around that. So as you sit there with your eyes closed, I want you to see the person. I want you to feel the situation. I want you to look. You know, if it's your job, I want you to see the job. I want you to see your boss. I want you to see, or if it's a relationship, I want you to see that person that's really bothering you in front of your face. If it's money, I want you to see money around you and feel it. It's an 8, it's a 7, whatever it is. Okay? Now, all we're going to do is this. You're going to repeat after me wherever you are. As you're looking at it, repeat after me. Love. Take a deep breath. Love. Again. Love. 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 Take a deep breath. Say it again. Love. And as you see that person, good, or that situation, great, good job. Open your eyes. Look at me. Now, on that scale of 1 to 10, where are you now? What number are you now? Now, this is how love works. Love changes your vibration because love is the highest vibration. What is love? It's the highest vibration. And what is the lowest vibration? Fear. So there's fear down here, there's love up here. So, ask yourself, where are you on the scale now? You know, if you were a 7, are you a 6? If you were an 8, are you a 5? Some people, when they say love and they bring that situation in, they will go from a 9 to a 4. That's big. But you don't have to. You don't have to go from a 9 to 4. All you have to do is really go, I went from a 9 to an 8. That's all you got to do. That, some people say, oh, well, that doesn't mean anything. It changes your vibration. Remember what I said about matching vibrations earlier, is that this vibration within you is creating that result. So you want to heal that vibration, heal that relationship, and once you do that, everything is going to start to fall in line. And everything becomes brighter, it becomes happier, it becomes peaceful, and you do it more and more and more. But this is what I say to people all the time. You know, my business is called Attract Positive Results. So people will come to me and say, how do I be more positive? How do I be more positive? And I'm like, well, first of all, you can't fake it. You know, if you fake being positive all the time and like, I'm good, everything's fine, and underneath you haven't healed that part that feels like crap, ultimately you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So ultimately it's going to fall apart. So you don't have to be more positive. Check this out. All you have to be is a little less negative. That's it. You don't have to be more positive. If you are a little less negative, the love that's underneath will start to come up. Because all you have to do is remove the blocks to love's presence. And when you remove the blocks to love's presence, everything starts to flow. Sound good? And then when you think about, if you do that work, and then you think about your life, if you were to leave tomorrow, you think, you know what? I've got love in my life. I've got joy. I've got connection with people. I feel on purpose. I feel connected with myself. And that is how we heal the separation within ourselves. Okay? Now, besides you know, having love in your vibration until I talk to you again, I want to give you the mantra. The mantra is so simple. It is so simple. And for the next couple of days, I'm going to give you another video. I'll tell you about that in a second. I want you to say this to yourself. Okay? Are you ready? Get your pen. No, you don't even need one. It's so simple. This is what you're going to say. You're going to say, I love myself and I love my life. Say it with me. I'll say it first. I love myself. I love my life. I love myself. I love my life. I love myself. I love my life. Okay. Now, here's the deal. You don't have to believe it. But what you have to do is you have to do it. You just have to do it. That's it. And this is what I've told all the people in the challenge when I gave it to them. And boy, oh boy, I will tell you some amazing things that have happened with some of these people that have been using that mantra. All you have to do is in the morning, while you're still in bed, you're going to say the mantra for 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. Because when you wake up in the morning, usually you're like, what do I have to do today? Kid's got to get picked up. Oh, I have to see that idiot. You know what I'm talking about? That is called your ego. It's not thinking with love. Got it? So you have the power to choose. The greatest power you have to is the power to choose. That's what the Course in Miracles says, and I believe that to be true. The greatest power is your power to choose beyond the insanity of the world. Or the insanity in your head. You have insanity in your head. I have insanity in my head because we have an ego. Now, the ego just needs to be trained. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. So, for the next couple of days, I want you every morning to say, I love myself, I love my life. I love myself, I love my life. If you can say it with a little feeling, it helps. But you don't have to. Just say, I love myself, I love my life. And you will start to see little tiny shifts. It might be big, but you will definitely have little tiny shifts. You could say it throughout the day if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just say it. You just have to make a commitment. You know, this is free. This is free. Everyone can do it. You know, it's not like you have to go to a psychiatrist, you got to go to analysis, you got to go to da-da-da-da-da-da. You just have to access the power of love. And when you access the power of love, your life changes. And that's what I want for you. So, you're going to do that, right? Right? Try it. It's an experiment. You got nothing to lose. For the next couple of days, I'm going to send you another video, which I'm going to talk about in a second. I want you to say, I love myself, I love my life. And see how it changes. Some people in the challenge use it. I use it all the time. They use it in times of stress. They use it in times of anger. They use it in times of fear. They start to say to themselves, oh boy, here comes that big meeting. I love myself, I love my life. Here comes that difficult situation that I need to deal with. I love myself, I love my life. I love myself. Because it takes your vibration from here to here. And remember, you're only going to attract what you are. So, your likelihood of having a better outcome in general when you call on love goes up, like way up, if you use it. This works if you work it, as Alcoholics Anonymous says. It is important that you do it. So, make a promise to yourself right now that you will consciously use the mantra, I love myself, I love my life, over the next couple of days. Okay? Got it? We in? You in? Good. Okay. The one thing I wanted to tell you too is that there's something about this healing of our relationship with ourselves that is so important. And as we go through our life, we're always going to be healing that relationship on some level. But if you don't start now, you're never going to start it, because there's only now is this moment. So really healing that relationship with yourself is everything. In the Course in Miracles, they would say that we have a split mind. And I sort of referred to this before. We have a split mind. We have the mind that thinks with the world, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, craziness. And then we have the mind that thinks with God, that thinks with love and compassion and caring. Those two minds, when we have those two minds and we are going back and forth, or we're really on one side or the other, or on one side, on the ego side, things don't work out. Or if they work out, you just don't feel good. You always know how things are going by your feelings. So, in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about healing the split mind. And as you heal the split mind, everything starts working out more and more. So, we will use love to help you to heal your split mind. All right? Thank you so much for spending the time with me and checking it out. And listen, right below here, there's a place to write comments, and I will comment on your comments. So if you've got questions, or if things seemed like they were confusing to you, please write them below, and I will definitely be reading everyone, and I will try to respond to all of them. I'll be definitely on there, okay? All right, so make sure that you look. In a couple of days, I'm going to check in with you to see how everything is going and to teach you about your split mind and how to heal it. Remember, you think you have all these problems, but you have one problem, and that is to heal your relationship with yourself and heal the separation between you and God, or the source, or love. All right. As I always say, I pray that love will guide you, and I mean that with all my heart. And remember, unthinkably good things can and do happen. I will talk to you really soon. Bye-bye.